Hi everyone, my name is Kelsey Barnes and I completed my placement experience at Kensington Burger Bar in Bradford and with the city of Aurelia where I helped out with the Ontario Winter Games. In terms of setting up a placement with the Ontario Winter Games, I initially made contact with the general manager of the games, Michael, who put me in contact with Jill, who was the committee chair of the games. We had a discussion where she had essentially told me about the games and what still needed to be done in order to make the food service aspect successful. It was generally a pretty informal process where my role would kind of be day to day and there wasn't any clear expectations. I just kind of had to jump right in and be available as needed and wherever I was needed as well. In terms of Kensington Burger Bar, it was also a very informal process because I worked at Kensington's at the time. I had a discussion with my manager as well, where I told her about my course and that I needed 240 hours towards a placement in order to graduate, and that I could put the hours at Kensington's towards that placement. I also told her that she just had to sign off on my hours weekly, and if she would be willing to enhance my learning by teaching me about some of the managerial duties she has at Kensington's, which she did, which was awesome. My responsibilities at the Ontario Winter Games, there was a lot of emails and phone calls to confirm vendors and catering, as well as contacting facilities to see which dining options they had available for the athletes. I also had a lot of meetings with other members of the food service team and other people in the organizing community, just kind of back and forth for confirmations and such. Also worked with the public health for a little bit, just to confirm caterers, which caterers were going to which facilities, just so they could check the places out, make sure they were to code, and make sure they were safe. At Kensington's, my responsibilities were my daily duties that my job would normally entail, but within that, lucky enough, I was able to learn some management duties and learn the systems that Kensington's uses. My successful goals of placement were to improve customer service skills, conduct a food safety audit, and place a product order. My unsuccessful goals were to create a menu for an individual and develop some kind of educational tool. However, I'm not super disappointed that I wasn't able to successfully complete all my goals. I didn't have really any set expectations going into these placements, which I think benefited me more in the end, and I was able to take away more from this placement instead of having specific expectations that I based my success off of. Some missed opportunities with the Ontario Winter Games were definitely not taking enough initiative and not being able to define my role better. I think if I took a little bit more time to sit down with Jill and kind of discuss my authority and my specific role would benefit me better, and also the games as well. I think I just needed to kind of just jump in more, be a little bit more confident in my abilities and my decision making, which again would have helped me get more out of the placement and also help with the organizing of the games more. At Kensington's, I would say I didn't really have any missed opportunities. I was very thankful for them allowing me to put my hours towards my placement hours, and at the same time giving me an opportunity to learn about some of the management duties within the organization. Highlights of the Ontario Winter Games was definitely hearing how successful the games were, especially after all the hard work that went into organizing them and all the people that took their time to help make them successful. On the weekend of the games, I was able to help with the bagging of the lunches, which was really awesome because it was a very short time frame to complete this task, and there was very limited volunteers and staff to do it. But we were able to be successful, and it's kind of fun having that little time crunch to see if you were able to complete a task. Highlights at Kensington's was definitely the staff Christmas party. Everything was paid for by the owner of Kensington's. We had staff from another location working at the Bradford location, so everyone was able to attend, which was a lot of fun. That's a photo of me and our kitchen manager, or assistant kitchen manager. It was the only photo that I had of the night, so I thought I would include it. I've decided not to return for the final semester. Instead, I'm pursuing a career in nutrition and dietetics. I was successful in landing a dietetic internship with Aramark, and upon completion of this internship, I'll be able to write the exam in order to become a registered dietitian, which was the ultimate goal of my first degree. However, I really did enjoy both experiences and learned a lot from them, especially seeing how an event of that nature of the Ontario Winter Games goes together and what goes into organizing and making an event that big successful. In terms of recommendations for an Ontario Winter Games or event type placement, would definitely just being open-minded, taking more initiative, and being confident in your skills and abilities. In terms of Kensington Burger Bar or a similar restaurant style placement, I would definitely recommend having some experience first, because I think that would make the transition into that role a little bit better. But overall, I think just taking advantage of learning opportunities and staying positive, seeing the positive in all things. As a final thought, what is one thing you would change about your placement experience to make it better, or to have it better enhance your learning, or and better fit with the course objectives? I would also like to thank you all for listening.